Bada boom. It's PBK Dragoon. What's up, everybody? Destiny Crucible Tips Round 2. Now, I've been making Destiny Crucible tips for a long time, and you guys have shown excellent support, but most of those tips were before patch 1.1.1. We're now in patch 1.2.0, and man, games have changed. 70,000 views on my main tip video. Thank you guys so much. If you're just coming from there, I'm going to give you the updated information. If you're only here to find out what the new weapons are, here you go. Hand cannons and pulse rifles. They're the dominant weapon types in Crucible right now, and they will stay that way until, Bungie decides to do another large-scale patch like patch 1.1.1. The weapons I like most are Thorn, The Last Word, Hawkmoon, Bad Juju, and Red Death. You, of course, have legendaries that are good, but I don't want to go into that because House of Wolves just came out, and there's going to be tons of vendor gear that's probably pretty good for the Crucible that we don't know just yet. I'll continue updating this series once I find some good PvP weapons. That's my intention over the next few weeks now that Trials of Osiris is a thing, and endgame PvPers like myself can really focus and hone in on the side of the game that I tend to like the most. I'm going to be bringing you equipment and gear over time, but I'm not going to BS and just say, hey, I think this will be good. No, I haven't tried it. Everything requires experience. So, okay, if that's all you were here to find out, everything in my original tip video remains basically the same, except for the fact in the original tip video I told you guys, auto rifles were pretty stinking good, and scout rifles were pretty stinking good, mainly autos. Pre-patch 1.1.1, Destiny was all about the Osiris regime. It was an auto rifle dominated play type, but autos got such a nerf. Even though it was just 2%, it affected different weapons with different scaling. So like Osiris received more of like a 10% damage nerf in terms of PvP. Thorn, The Last Word, hand cannons are just rocking right now because they do a lot of damage, and a weapon like Thorn, which has a damage over time, is quite good. Pulse rifles, if you're a mid to close range player, phenomenal weapons also. And I'm not saying, guys, that you can't use other weapon types in Crucible to do well. I know plenty of people who could use a soup ladle and still be efficient. Check this out. 1, 2, boom! Biggity, biggity, boom. What I'm going to be talking about through this series is game sense, every element that goes into game sense. I think game sense is the most important part of Destiny Crucible, and it's a combination of your positioning and understanding of the tempo of the game. Destiny is a heavily positional game, even more so than when it came out. If you guys remember my original tip video, back then people were not fully decked out with exotics. They did not have legendary gear, and their builds refined to where they do now. So the game has really, really changed, and you get to the point in endgame where you are probably going to be at an equal playing field with most players. It's not going to turn out to be player A is an exceptional gunfighter and he's going to beat player B. You're going to have to use positioning to your advantage. Game sense is a combination of timing, understanding of the map, knowing when heavy is actually going to happen, predicting when your opponents are going to have their super and perhaps shutting that down or trying to at least. The skill level of all players has been raised quite a bit since last October, and there's much to discuss. So throughout this whole PvP tip series, the different elements that I'm going to talk about build into game sense. But that's the main thing you want to focus on as a player looking to improve in the Crucible. Everything we talk about is going to be heightened in Trials of Osiris, which is the new PvP endgame activity 3v3 elimination game type. I'm really looking forward to it because these are all folks who are going to desperately want to win. It will be Iron Banner on crack, times 10 to the limit. So game sense is what the foundation of all the things we talk about are. The other big changes that I would mention right off the top, if you're a viewer coming from my big tip video from October, other than the weapons, is the fact that special ammo really plays a huge role now. You need to view green ammo more like a power weapon than you ever have. Why? Because it is a scarce resource. Pre-patch 1.1.1, they gave a lot of ammo and they spawned pretty often. Now the green crates don't spawn nearly as often and they give you less ammo, which means you need to be more cautious with how you use that special ammo. It really goes a long way. A sniper in the hands of a good player is one of the most terrifying things in Destiny. Heaven forbid you're playing a whole other team that knows what they're doing with those things. Yes, good snipers can be a much better tool for your team than a good shotgun player, but we all know shotguns are incredibly powerful in Destiny PvP. I wouldn't even bother getting a fusion rifle out unless you're just hell-bent on playing with that style. Heavy ammo. Back in my original video, I told you guys I liked using HMGs more because, hey, I can get multiple kills with it. I have changed my logic. Now people have yellow horns and truths and just excellent rocket launchers to where rockets are my preferred choice. I would rather get some guaranteed kills and eliminate opponents who have heavy ammo. On the UI, you can actually see the heavy ammo indicators of when they're going to drop, which means players are much more likely to pick up heavy than they were back in October when I was making this original video. This leads into the really quality strategy of trying to shut down the opponent's heavy ammo. On a lot of maps, and a lot of times close games, this is going to be a challenge to do so, and it might not be the best choice to actually sacrifice getting heavy in the attempts of shutting down the opponent's heavy. But no, getting 1 or 2 more heavy ammo pulls than your opponent can spell victory, and we'll talk about that in future videos. So I like rocket launchers better now, and map control is even more important since you can expect the other team to basically always have rockets. Back in the old days when I was a grandpa using my Osiris, not a lot of people pulled heavy, and it was fairly easy to actually like steal the enemy teams. And you could also delay heavy ammo. You can't really delay your heavy ammo spawn anymore, so it has forced much more action surrounding these moments. Alright everybody, this is the start of something new. I hope you enjoy. If you did, please leave a like down below. I'll be bringing you more Crucible tips, and especially a heavy focus on Trials of Osiris. Good day, Guardians!